So thank you, thank you.
Having
All
me.
right, we're actually right on time. This is beautiful. I don't know that I've ever been in an event or on an event where we're not late, we're not early. It is 1:40, and we have the lovely Diana Devi here with us to share with us. And I'm just gonna put her right on. Welcome, Diana. Thanks for being here on Friday.
Thanks for having me. So I want to jump in. I got lots to share. So one of the first places to begin, and I talk a lot about anti-aging and how that impacts all of us. And just to get a real gauge of where things are, in America last year, the US, we spent over $60 billion on preparations and things that we could do for anti-aging. And I'm not talking about lasers or any of those kinds of things. I'm talking about more on the cosmetic line. And that's a lot of money, and it's expected to grow 25% over the next couple of years. And I want to talk a little bit about Anna. So Anna called me the other day. She had walked into the bathroom. She looked in the mirror and she went, "Man, I need to get my eyes tested. I'm seeing double. But maybe I ought to put my glasses on before I make that decision." So she puts her glasses on. She looks in the mirror again and she goes, "I'm not seeing double. I am double. We got double chin, double jowls, double crow's feet, these little double lines here." And she was just absolutely shocked. How did that happen and when did it happen? So she did what we all do, which is you grab your 10 magnifying mirror and you closely examine every single thing that's happening, because you want to know, okay, how bad is it? Where did it start? What else is going on? What am I missing? What is it that's there that is going to be popping up and showing in the next day or week or whatever time period? And I don't want to be surprised. And she started thinking, this kind of happened to me with my pants. I took them to the dry cleaner and I put them on and they were tight at the waist. And I just thought they shrunk until I looked in the mirror and went, it's not shrinking of the pants. Same thing here. She looked in the mirror. She saw the double chin. So what did she do after she thoroughly examined those areas? She went into the bathroom, into her lotions and potions drawer. And we all have one of these. She opened it up and looked inside. And then there she had the things for the crepey skin on the neck. She had the stuff for the circles underneath the eyes. She had the stuff that's supposed to help with the sagging skin, the morning routine, the night routine. And she just looked at it and just sighed. It's not working. It wasn't doing anything for her. And her situation is not unusual, because what we see especially with regard to these agents, is that they fall into one of three categories. One is they don't work. Number two, and this one actually is kind of surprising, they can actually age you more rapidly. Pretty shocking. And the third thing is, what you need may not be what you put on your skin. It may be something else. And it's hard to figure out what it is and to know which one of those it is. So let me start with the first one, and things that don't work. And I'll use one really common example. Joan was taking collagen and putting collagen on her skin. So everybody knows about collagen in the skin, and that you have collagen and elastin that make up underneath the skin that gives it the fullness and the plumpness. As we get older, we produce less collagen. So it makes sense to add collagen, right? So she had a cream that she was putting on that contained collagen. Well, the best analogy I can use as to why collagen doesn't work on the skin is it's like trying to back a semi into a parking spot that's designed for a compact car. It doesn't work because it doesn't penetrate through the skin. So you can save your money on those creams and lotions and potions that contain collagen because your skin cannot absorb them. The other thing that she was doing was she was taking collagen tablets. Now these were, I swear, they were probably the size of this part of my thumb. Huge, very difficult to swallow. And unfortunately, she had gotten a bug and discovered that they were not being dissolved at all, going straight through her, which is not unusual for a tablet because, after all, they press it together in order to get it to stay there. And it's sometimes difficult for that to loosen up so that you can absorb it. So we switched her over to a collagen, that hydrolyzed collagen, one that she could put in her drink and drink every morning, and she noticed a difference. Now, it wasn't an immediate difference. And for her, the difference came when she noticed that she wasn't as achy when she got up in the morning. She felt better. And eventually, she started to notice some differences in the quality of her skin. So that's a prime example of it not working. The second one I want to talk about is things that can actually aid you. And I'll use Maria as an example. She was using 2 things in the morning and 3 things at night for her skin. And she couldn't figure out what was going on because her skin looked ashen, the wrinkles looked even deeper. And in looking at the ingredients and what was in them, there were actually things that can cause you to age more rapidly. The preservatives and perfumes can be irritating to your skin, or they may contain some chemicals that, when absorbed, cause inflammation. Just so you know, when you have inflammation, that means that your body doesn't do the rest to repair and restore. Basically, can't fix all the stuff that's gone wrong all during the day. And it makes you age more. You have more wrinkles. We're going to have wrinkles as we get older, and they're kind of a rite of passage, but I don't know about you, but I want a certain amount, but not too many. And then the third example I want to talk about is regard to Stacy. Stacy has a job that is extremely stressful. She absolutely loves it, but she noticed that she wasn't able to get sleep. And when I say wasn't able to get enough sleep, I'm talking 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night at the most. She prioritized everything else in her life around um, around getting done what she needed to rather than getting enough sleep. She was doing all of the other right things as far as that's concerned. She was drinking water, she was, doing exercise, those kinds of things, but not enough sleep. And sleep is one of the most important things that you can do in order to control your aging. It makes it so that your body, again, during the nighttime is when I think of it as when it takes out the trash. We decide when we're going to recycle. You keep the things that the body can use, and you toss the things that your body can't use or don't want around. Now, if you don't get enough sleep, those wires get crossed. And sometimes you throw away things that you need to keep, and sometimes you keep things that you should throw away. So those are 3 examples of what can happen. And, looking at what it is that you do and how you do it and when you do it is important. Now, you're kind of going, okay, at this point, she's told me a lot of stuff, and what's her background? Why is she an expert on this? And part of it is because it's my story. So at 50, I went to the physician when I was tired. My skin was not aging well. I didn't feel good. They ran a series of lab tests. She came back in the room. She sat down. She looked right into my eyes and said, "You're getting older, and you just have to get used to it." Well, I'm a pharmacist by training, and I was not willing to accept that. It actually made me mad. It kind of fueled me just a bit in order to figure out what was happening. So I started on my quest to figure it out. And I was also an Argentine tango instructor at the time, as well as working in the pharmacy. And I would have students that would come to me and they would go, "Okay, now I'm here for a tango lesson, but can you tell me what it is that you're doing that is changing the way that you look and feel?" And thus I got into it. So, wanting to communicate to you that there is so much that you can do in order to change the way that you age. And it's not vain or shallow to think about it that way. Think about when you meet someone. The first impression that you make is by your appearance, and much of it is about your face. And if you don't feel comfortable or confident in the way that you look, it shows up. We've all seen people that are kind of, when you meet them, they're kind of like this, right? They're kind of drawn back. You can tell they're not really interested in meeting people or getting to know someone, or we deem it as being shy. Versus if you're in a business setting or you're in something that you're networking or you want to meet people, being able to say, here I am, I'm comfortable in what I am and who I am, makes a big difference, because that confidence is shown up to what they see, and that makes them more likely to want to interact with you, to hire you, to talk with you, and begin to build the bridge that you need in order to have a relationship. And this is true in the personal world. It might be that you go someplace and you want to learn how to do something. Maybe you want to learn how to play a game, or you're at a book club, or it might be that you're at a new networking event. The way that you look and how you feel about the way that you look definitely comes across in the way that people see you, and what that is like in your feeling, but also how they're going to want to interact with you. And it might be too that you want to go play with your grandchildren and you don't want your grandchildren to be ashamed of the way that you look, or and that's your thinking, not their thinking. So understanding that, number one, genetics plays a role, but it's a really small role. There is so much that you can do, things on the inside, things on the outside. And that feeling good and confident is something that is within your grasp. Now, does that mean that you're not going to have to work? You're going to have to do a little bit of work. And changing your approach, or maybe what it is that you do. Looking at, for example, the ingredients on something before you actually put it on your skin. Reading the ingredients on a bottle before you, like a sauce or whatever it is that you purchase that might be for groceries. And understanding that, remember, your skin is the largest organ in your body. So what you put on it can actually be absorbed into it, and it may not be intentional. I can think of 5 medications off the top of my head that are used with the patch that you put on the skin: birth control, pain medications, anti-nausea medications, hormone therapy. All of those are through the skin. So being really aware about what it is that you put on your skin is a great place to start. And I want you to know that you can do something. Regardless of where you are now, you can do something. You can make a difference. And all you have to do is start. And starting can be easier than you think. Starting can be as simple as water. Drinking enough water, having enough hydration that you're able to really think clearly. If you think about it in a way like a prune versus a plum. A prune is a dried up plum, right? So you can think about it as far as a motivation in order to drink more water, because some of us need actually to have that motivation. Am I wanting to be a prune? Am I wanting to be a plum? And of course, we all want to be the plum, the rosy skin, all of those kinds of things. Hydration inside and out is the key. So I'll want to just do a little bit of a review now, just to kind of take you through some of the things that we talked about a lot here. And I want to make sure that you really understand how much it is that you can do and how easy it is to start. And that's understanding the cosmetic industry is big. It's only going to get bigger. And by the way, what they say they can do versus what actually they can do are 2 different things. And just because it costs a lot doesn't mean it's going to work. Some of the products that I find that work the best actually cost a fraction of the very expensive ones. There are, so they don't work. That's one. Number 2, they actually age you more. So looking at what it is that you're putting on, and do you have sensitivities to that? And number 3, what else is it that you're doing? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting some exercise? And understanding that sleep is really important. That's when your body resets everything. And the funny thing about it is, if you don't get enough sleep, a lot of times you'll reach for some kind of food, primarily sweets or carbs, in order to give you the energy to push you through the rest of the day. And Stacy found that when she actually got sleep, her diet improved and she lost weight without even really trying to. And that's because she cut out eating the sweets at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon that she was using to push her through the day. So, and then understanding that there is something that you can do. It is not hopeless. I hope that you found some of this information useful. I'll give you a place where you can get a hold of me. It's you can catch me on Facebook. I'm on YouTube at the Diana Devi, on Diana at an Ageless Life if you want to reach me there, and agelesslife.com if you want to reach me there, Facebook. But knowing that, especially with the holidays coming up, and today is December 2nd, you can make a difference in 22 days. You can do something and really change the way you look and feel. Is it going to be a major change? Maybe, depending upon where you're starting from and also what your approach is. So I just want to say thanks for that. And I'll let you take it away, Melissa. Thanks for having me. This has been so much fun. Oh, I can't hear you. You're muted.
Thank you so much. I felt like you were talking to me when you were talking about Stacy, because I'm like, I get excited when I go to set my alarm and it tells you how much sleep you're going to get. And if I see anything over 5 hours, I am immediately just like, oh, this is fantastic. So that was huge. And I love how you talked about, and it's not superficial, and it is really about building up your confidence by taking care of yourself, right?
Yeah,
People want to do
absolutely.
business with successful people. Successful people take care of themselves. When you take care of yourself, you look and feel better, which turns to self-worth, and then that's confidence, and confidence turns to clients. So
It
everything
may,
you do,
yeah,
right? Money, money,
money.
money.
Yeah,
So everything that you're doing is exactly what especially us women need to be able to grow our business without feeling bad because we want to look good, right? We were
yeah.
born women and we can take advantage of all of the things that we have.
It's not
I
shallow. It's not
It's
shallow at
not
all.
shallow. It's not
And
shallow at all. It's important. It's important. And you
yeah,
think about it's as simple as how society has trained us, how do you feel about yourself when you eat a hamburger unless you're craving, iron and stuff, compared to how you eat a salad? How proud are you when you pick up your greens or your reds? In your
yeah,
mind you're saying, I'm taking care of me. This is so good of me.
yeah.
And it just boosts your own self-value, and people see it and feel it. So, and you look amazing. You're absolutely gorgeous. Your skin is gorgeous.
Oh,
So
well,
this woman is a pro.
one of the things that I meant to say is that there's not much of a filter on StreamYard versus Zoom, and I am
Mhm.
66 years old.
Amazing. So if you could drop your YouTube channel,
Yes,
um, please drop your YouTube channel. I think that it would be great for people to be able to get some of your content, and then they can reach out to you. Thank you so much for being with us, Diana. We appreciate you
yes.
taking up part of your Friday to educate us on how we can look better, feel better, and do better.